Saudi Arabia, a land of vast deserts, rich history and rapid modernization. At the helm of this desert kingdom stands the House of Saud, a dynasty that has ruled for nearly a century. The founder of modern Saudi Arabia, King Abdulaziz, united a scattered collection of tribes into a single nation. He laid the groundwork for what would become one of the world's largest oil producers. This newfound wealth brought about unprecedented changes. Today, the House of Saud faces the challenges of the 21st century. Balancing the preservation of tradition with the need for modernization is no easy feat. The kingdom is at a crossroads, grappling with issues like climate change, economic diversification, and a rapidly evolving social fabric. The decisions made by the House of Saud will shape the destiny of their nation and resonate throughout the Middle East and beyond. The discovery of oil in Saudi Arabia in 1938 was a turning point in the kingdom's history. It catapulted the nation from a traditional desert society to a major player on the world stage. The vast oil reserves, estimated to be the second largest in the world, became the bedrock of the Saudi economy. The House of Saud, through its control of the state-owned oil giant Saudi Aramco, amassed immense wealth. This wealth translated into unprecedented development within the kingdom. Modern infrastructure, including roads, airports, and cities, sprang up across the country. However, the reliance on oil also brought about challenges. The Saudi economy became vulnerable to fluctuations in global oil prices. The House of Saud recognized the need to invest in other sectors, such as tourism, technology, and renewable energy. These efforts aim to secure Saudi Arabia's economic future in a world moving beyond fossil fuels. In 2016, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman unveiled Vision 2030, an ambitious plan to transform Saudi Arabia's economy and society. This blueprint aims to reduce the kingdom's dependence on oil, foster economic diversification, and create a more vibrant society. One of the key pillars of Vision 2030 is empowering women and increasing their participation in the workforce. Restrictions on women driving were lifted, and opportunities for women in various sectors have expanded. The Crown Prince also spearheaded social reforms, such as allowing public concerts and cinemas. These changes reflect a broader effort to modernize Saudi Arabia's image and appeal to a younger generation. The success of Vision 2030 is crucial for Saudi Arabia's future. However, implementing such ambitious reforms in a deeply conservative society presents significant challenges. The House of Saud must navigate these complexities carefully to ensure a smooth transition toward their vision of a modern and prosperous Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia occupies a unique and influential position on the global stage. As the birthplace of Islam and custodian of its holiest sites, the kingdom holds a special place in the Muslim world. Its vast oil reserves make it a crucial player in global energy markets. Saudi Arabia's foreign policy has traditionally been characterized by a cautious approach, seeking to maintain stability in the region. The kingdom has long-standing alliances with Western powers, particularly the United States. However, recent years have seen a more assertive Saudi foreign policy. The war in Yemen, where Saudi Arabia leads a coalition against Houthi rebels, has drawn international criticism. The kingdom's rivalry with Iran, a regional Shia power, continues to be a source of tension in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia has also been active in combating terrorism, particularly groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda. The rise of new global powers such as China presents both opportunities and challenges for Saudi Arabia. Balancing its relationships with traditional allies and emerging powers will be crucial for Saudi Arabia's foreign policy in the years to come. The rapid modernization drive within Saudi Arabia has not come without its share of challenges. Social and political reforms, while welcomed by many, have also generated pushback from conservative elements within society. The pace of change, particularly in areas like women's rights and social freedoms, has led to tensions. The House of Saud has had to tread carefully, balancing the aspirations of a young and increasingly connected population with the sensitivities of a deeply religious society. The government's crackdown on dissent and perceived political opposition has drawn criticism from international human rights organizations. Finding the right balance between maintaining control and allowing for greater political and social freedoms will be crucial for the long-term stability of the House of Saud and the kingdom it rules. Saudi Arabia's human rights record has been a subject of ongoing international scrutiny and criticism. The kingdom's absolute monarchy and strict interpretation of Islamic law have led to concerns about the limitations on freedom of expression, assembly, and religion. The government's crackdown on dissent, including the detention of activists and perceived critics, has drawn condemnation from human rights groups. The treatment of women, despite recent reforms, remains an area of concern. While women have gained more rights in recent years, the male guardianship system still restricts their autonomy in many aspects of life. The kingdom's justice system, based on Sharia law, has been criticized for its lack of transparency and due process. The use of capital punishment, including for nonviolent offenses, has also drawn international condemnation. Addressing these concerns will be crucial for the kingdom's international reputation and its ability to engage with the world as a respected partner. Beyond the oil, diversifying for a sustainable future. Recognizing the need to move away from its reliance on oil, Saudi Arabia has embarked on an ambitious diversification strategy. Vision 2030 places a strong emphasis on developing non-oil sectors such as tourism, technology, and renewable energy. The government has made significant investments in these areas, aiming to create a more diversified and resilient economy. The development of tourism, particularly religious tourism, is a key pillar of this strategy. Saudi Arabia plans to attract millions of pilgrims and visitors to its holy sites, generating revenue and creating jobs. The kingdom is also investing heavily in renewable energy sources like solar and wind power. Developing a thriving technology sector is another priority, with the goal of creating a knowledge-based economy. The success of these diversification efforts will be crucial for securing Saudi Arabia's economic future in a world moving beyond fossil fuels. The weight of legacy balancing tradition and transformation. The House of Saud faces the delicate task of balancing its deeply rooted traditions with the need for modernization. As custodians of Islam's holiest sites, the royal family carries the weight of religious legacy and expectations. At the same time, they recognize the need to adapt to the realities of a globalized world and the aspirations of their young population. Allowing women to drive, opening up cinemas and entertainment venues, and promoting a more moderate interpretation of Islam are all part of this delicate dance between tradition and change. Finding the right pace of change, one that does not alienate those resistant to reform while addressing the demands of a modernizing society, is a constant challenge. The House of Saud's ability to navigate these competing forces will determine the kingdom's future trajectory. Successfully managing this transition requires a deep understanding of Saudi society, its values, and its sensitivities. The future of the kingdom, challenges and opportunities. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia stands at a crossroads. Challenges abound, from volatile oil markets to regional instability and the pressing need for economic diversification. However, opportunities also present themselves, driven by a young population eager for progress and a leadership committed to change. The success of Vision 2030, the kingdom's ambitious reform plan, will be crucial for securing a prosperous future. Reducing dependence on oil, creating a vibrant private sector, and empowering women are all essential for long-term stability. The House of Saud must continue to adapt and evolve to meet the demands of a changing world. The House of Saud enduring power in a changing world. The House of Saud has ruled Saudi Arabia for nearly a century, weathering numerous storms and overseeing a period of unprecedented change. Their story is one of resilience, adaptation, and a constant negotiation between tradition and modernity. The challenges facing the kingdom today are perhaps greater than ever before. Volatile oil markets, regional instability, and the need for economic diversification test their leadership. How the House of Saud navigates these complexities will determine its own fate and that of the nation it rules. The world will be watching as this powerful dynasty charts its course through the 21st century, balancing its role as guardian of Islamic tradition with its ambition to become a modern, global power. Only time will tell how this chapter in the House of Saud's story will unfold, but one thing is certain: the decisions made today will resonate for generations to come.